Breaking news coming in. Khokon Das, who was attacked by a violent group in Bangladesh, succumbs to injuries. Khokon Das was injured after the attack and was set on fire by a mob. The incident took place on December 31st in the Shariatpur district of Bangladesh and is the latest in a series of attacks on minorities in Bangladesh. And my colleague Pallavi Ghosh spoke to the family of Khokon Das. Listen in.
কিছু কি বলবেন?
হ্যাঁ বলুম, খুনের বদলে খুন চাই। আমার নিজে হাতে আমি ওকে খুন করুম, আমি নিজে হাতে ওকে যাইয়ে খুন করুম। আমার স্বামী কে লগে এতটুক ধরনের অপরাধ করে নাই। আমার স্বামী কেউ দোকানে যায়, বাড়ি দোকানে একটু বিড়ি সিগারেটও খায় না। এটা দিয়ে সবার উপকার হয়েছে কিন্তু ক্ষতি হয় না।
What Seema Das is saying is that I want blood in exchange of blood. My husband never hurt anyone. He never had any enemies. I don't understand why he was killed. কেরম হয়েছিল আপনি জানেন? কেরম
না না কেন হয়েছিল
বলতে পারবেন না?
না না কেন হয়েছিল জানেন না? দোকান করে দোকান থেকে বাড়িতে ফিরছে রাত 8:30টার দিকে, শীতের দিন থেকে তাড়াতাড়ি ফিরছে। তাড়াতাড়ি ফিরা কি লাভ হলো? 8:30টার দিকে বাড়িতে ঢুকতে আর 1 মিনিট।
যারা ওনাকে মারলো ওরা কি ওনাকে জানাশোনা ছিল? উনি চিনতেন?
হ্যাঁ, কোপাইছে আর নাম বলছে, কোপাইছে আর নাম বলছে।
ও কি আগে থেকে ওনাকে জানতো?
না, জানতো না।
So he didn't know who attacked him, but they attacked him and they stabbed him on his stomach, and then of course upore petrol ঢাললো।
কোপাইছে, পেট কোপাইয়া ঝুলি মুলি বাই করছে, তারপরে পেট্রোল দিয়ে আগুন দিয়ে দিছে। যে তো মানুষটার গায়ে কেমনে আগুন ধরে খুনিরা যাতা কেমনে আগুন ধরে আমরা খুনিরা যাতা আগুন দিই। আমাকে সামনে নিয়ে আগুন দিবে। ওর বাবা মারে ধরে নিছে, বাবা মা আয়া স্বীকার করে আইছে, থানার তো স্বীকার করে আইছে যে যাতা আমারে যাতা আগুন দিবে।
So what Seema Das is telling me is that they stabbed him multiple times on his stomach. In fact, intestine, everything came out, and then they put petrol on him and he tried to save it. And now, obviously, I can understand why they are in this mood where they want action to be taken, and they say we want to meet out the same treatment. সরকার থেকে কেউ এসছে? সরকার থেকে, পুলিশ থেকে কেউ এসছে?
এমপি আইছিল।
তারপরে কি বলেছে?
আশ্বাস করছিল যে ওকে শাস্তি ব্যবস্থা করব।
ভয় পায় এখন যেতে, ফেরত গ্রামে ফেরত যেতে ভয় পাবে?
না না না
না
ফেরত যাবে আপনারা?
হ্যাঁ যাব। গ্রামের মানুষ আমাদের আশ্বস্ত করছে, আমাদের কোনো টেনশন নাই, সবাই আমাদের পাশে আছে, সবাই আমার সাথে আছে।
সবাই আমার বাড়িতে পাশে, আমার বাড়িতে, আমার বাপের বাড়িতে।
তো এটা কখন হলো? এক্ষুনি খবরটা পেলে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ, আমাদেরকে জানায় নাই,
সকালে মনে মারা গেছে, আমাদেরকে কেউ জানায় নাই।
ছিল বেটাপুর ছেলেরা, তাদের কাছে সকালে বলছে, আমাদেরকে তো নাস্তা পানি না খাওয়াইছে। আর আমাদের
এখন কোথায় ওনার বডি? ভেতরে আইসিইউতে? So okay, they put his body in the morgue and they were told this morning that he has passed away. While they say that we never had any enemies, Khokon Das never had any enemies in Grame, but we just don't understand why he was attacked, and this is something, and it's a sense of revenge that they want, which is kind of very understandable at this point.
And we are joined by Pallavi Ghosh, who is live from Dhaka. Pallavi, this is some tragic news. If you could tell our viewers about who was Khokon Das and why was he killed?
So Khokon Das was a mobile shop owner, a small one. He was in Sialchur, which is around roughly 7 to 8 hours away from Dhaka. But what happened is he was shut his shop and he was going back home in an auto rickshaw. And that is when these 2 to 3 men accosted him. They stabbed him multiple times on his stomach. As his wife told me that all the parts of his stomach started coming out. And not having stopped at that, they put petrol on his head and face. Obviously an attempt was being made to repeat what had happened to Deepu Chandra Das, who too was burned after being hanged from the tree after he was brutally killed. Khokon Das, of course, showed a presence of mind. He jumped into a pond to save himself. Unfortunately, he couldn't. He was critically injured. He was brought to the Dhaka Medical College, is where I met the family. But you know, Harsh, the moment I walked into a Dhaka Medical College after tracing him, I got the tragic news that he had just died an hour before that. In fact, I don't know if you got those pictures. Midway, his son also comes in, and he was also given the news that his father had died, and what is even worse is that when his father was being burned in his hometown, it was his son who was filming him, little knowing that this was his father. Well, another death of yet another Hindu. Of course, attempts will be made to clamp this off, dismiss it off as local or profession rivalry. But the fact remains is we just have a less than a month really left to go. I think a little over a month, I'm sorry. On 12th February, elections are going to take place. The Hindu population has come down from 30 to 9%. Hindus, Christians living in fear, but they are wondering what is going to happen to them as the campaign starts picking up. The BNP, of course, is talking about taking everyone along, presenting a new Bangladesh. But Harsh, these pictures of Khokon Das's family, his wife Seema Das, who was speaking to me, does this really show that there is a new Bangladesh which is even being attempted?
Right, Pallavi. Pallavi, this is some tragic news, but tell our viewers, why is Mohammad Yunus still silent on such tragic, violent cases?
Well, I mean, that baffles me as well, frankly speaking, Harsh, because in fact, one of the pictures which was shared by his son with me was of the accused. They knew who the person killed the father. But he's saying that, you know, the police just comes, asks us a couple of questions and goes away. It's been more than a week and no attempt has been made even to trace the accused or arrest him. So clearly the language of Yunus administration, and I remember he had issued a statement in rebuttal to the MEA's very strong statement on the attacks on the Hindus, was that this is a false narrative which is being pushed by India against Bangladesh and Bangladesh government. But my point over here, Harsh, and the question which we would really want to ask is that if Yunus administration is promising change, that no, everyone is safe here, why is that message not reaching the ground? Why is it not reaching the rest of the security officials or the police? Everyone is very chilled out. Everyone is lackluster. In fact, the police was more interested in stopping us from filming than to put in the effort to find out who the accused is, who were the actual killers of Khokon Chandra Das. So that language is very baffling, and Harsh, the messaging is somewhere lost.
Right, Pallavi. Many thanks, Pallavi, for gathering all that, and please stay safe. Well, a short break for now, but when we come back, a breaking input from Chhattisgarh. Stay with us.